Oh, yeah. It's Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. Let me get the thing on that says that that's what it is. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. You made it to the show. Good job. We got such a good show for you today. Oh, my God. I'm excited about it. Way later on, we're going to be talking to somebody's uncle. I don't know who he is or whose uncle he is, but we're going to find out. I can't wait. We're going to be talking to TV's own TV's own and TV's favorite clairvoyant ghost hunter, Britneigh. And we got a visit from old pal Pete, the offensive guy. I hope he doesn't say anything too offensive this time around. God, I'm excited. Let's get to it. But before we do, we got to play the intro song because that's we love. Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps is the show that you're currently watching. It's about to start with his amazing guests, and they gonna tell you how to survive out in the apocalypse. This way you won't be dead if anything was to attack humanity and try to end it. So now you gotta show up with your ears and your eyes and watch the show. It's Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. Oh, yeah, it is that show. It's the very show that it says it is. It's Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. You made it. Good job. Welcome here. Welcome in. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how y'all's going to survive apocalypses because I am the world's first and foremost doomsday prep lecturer at the Louisiana State University, unaffiliated. Now, and that's why I talk to y'all about how to survive, because I know and I want to pass that knowledge on to y'all. And of course, I get help every show from my very special guests who have all signed up for my email list at one time or another after seeing me speak live. Now, I already told y'all the guests that are coming up. We're going to get to them a little bit later. We're going to start today by talking about what day it is, okay? Because it's very important to know. Today is March 18th. And you might be thinking, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. It would have been great for you to do a show about that and tell us what St. Patrick's Day is like in Louisiana. But yesterday wasn't a show day. So today, we're going to tell you what today is, not what yesterday is, okay? So please don't ask me about St. Patrick's Day in the chat. I do want to hear from you in the chat, but don't ask me St. Patrick's Day related questions. It's not that day anymore. All right. It's absolutely Incredible Kid Day. As everybody knows, March 18th is absolutely Incredible Kid Day. Wow, wow, wow. So exciting. I'm sure you know how you celebrate that day at your home. But here in Louisiana, things are a little different. And when I say here, obviously, I mean at my hometown of Louisiana, because I'm, of course, in Australia. I got Australian wedding. It's a whole thing. You'll have to watch past episodes if you want to understand. But but I know about Louisiana traditions. And I'll tell you that on Absolutely Incredible Kid Day in New Orleans, every family is required to choose their most incredible kid. Okay? You have to pick one and let the others know, hey, you didn't quite make the cut. In Baton Rouge, we expect all kids to be excellent in school. And if they are not, then they're called out and said, hey, you didn't get an A. And hopefully that teaches them that they should have got an A. We just go with that. And then, of course, statewide on Incredible Kid Day, Absolutely Incredible Kid Day, any child who is born is crowned king. Now, that's just what's going on here in Louisiana for Incredible Kid Day. We, of course, also have to talk about potential apocalypses. Every week I get write-ins from folks at home who want to know about potential apocalypses. Oh, God. And I have a comment in the chat from Andy Parade 1, and Andy Parade 1 wants to know who is St. Patrick. And I specifically asked for no St. Patrick's Day questions. And listen, I don't want to get too derailed because we got apocalypses to talk about, okay? Very real people wrote in very real questions that they really want answered, you know? So I do have to get to those. But who is St. Patrick? Andy Parade 1, I think he's like some Irish guy. Now, over the course of the week, I received questions to my Instagram and to my publicist at Ezra Party on Instagram's handles, inboxes. You know how it works. Oh, Andy Parade 1 says correct. Thank you very much for that. I agree. I'm correct. And of course, those questions are very important. Now, I do have a user at John Bon Jovi asks, what do you do if like you've been working on the docks for too long and like the union went on strike and everything's horrible? That's a good question. That's a good question, John Bon Jovi. And it's amazing that you asked that today when it was on my mind. If you are considering joining a union, I would say, do that. But if the union goes on strike, well, then you're in trouble, right? So then in that case, you want to get down in your bunker, hideout in case the Union strike turns into like a nuclear war. You'll be safe. So that's what my advice in that scenario, John Bon Jovi, is get in your bunker. And if you are the rock star John Bon Jovi, hey man, you want to do the show? Let me know. We'd have you on the show anytime, John Bon Jovi. Now, another question that I got this week came to me from it's also from John Bon Jovi. Okay, he says, can I do the show? Oh, wow. I guess I should have read that one first. Yeah, John Bon Jovi, please do the show. Write to me anytime. I would love to have you on the show. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, that's not so much apocalypse advice as it is just, that's a cool booking. I guess I'll have to write to him. Now, my third one comes from, this is also from John Bon Jovi. He said, did you know you just got pranked, bitch? Wow. I didn't know that. But I guess it makes sense. This wouldn't be the real John Bon Jovi because the real John Bon Jovi's handle would be at real John Bon Jovi. I should have known that. Wow, that is disappointing. Anyway, we got some great guests on the show today. I can't wait to get to them. We're going to talk to them so soon. All the way at the end of the show, he's going to be talking to somebody's uncle who I already told you about. I don't know who he is, but we're going to find out. Before that, we're going to be talking to Britneigh, TV's favorite clairvoyant ghost hunter. But right now, we're going to be talking to an old friend of the show, somebody who I'm happy to have back on at any time, and I'm glad that time is right now. Pete, the offensive guy. Pete, welcome back. Pete, how are you?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, dog?
I'm doing pretty well, Pete. It's great to see you. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. I got a couple of smoke a couple meats outside, getting a little brisket going on.
You're smoking meats outside. Wow.
Yeah, dog. You know about that? Us guys like putting meats in the smoker. If you don't know, what I'm talking about.
Like, I think I do. I think you're talking about just like having like smoked brisket.
Yeah, but it's also a smoke-sexual innuendo. If you know what I'm talking about. Not in your endo either. I'm not going to get me that thing. I told you it was going to be offensive.
Man, yeah, you're offensive every week. Now, Pete, I mean, last time I talked to you, you were down in you were teaching a music class. How much of that do you remember?
I think at the end it was still a music class. No, it was a rescue. It was like team.
Animals.
It was.
It turned out all the students were animals, and you were like at a zoo. If I remember,
they were animals. I was inside of a zoo, and they fired me.
That's right.
I was. I think I actually don't. I used to be a zookeeper, though. In the very least, man, I used to be a zookeeper, man, for real, dude.
Oh yeah, wow! Because you were on when you weren't on the same week as Zookeeper Brothers, but I remember that you had told me that you and they had worked together before. Now, that's Teddy and Eddie Booksworth, of course.
Yeah, man, those Booksworth brothers would constantly come up to me, and I'd when they were trying to feed the tiger one time, I went up to one of their ear holes, and I was like, "I'm gonna suck your dick."
Whoa!
Yeah, I told you I was gonna be offensive, man.
Pete, yeah, that's really offensive. That's sexual harassment in the workplace. Yeah.
Oh well, I said it in Spanish. I don't know if that makes it more
I
better.
mean, I guess if they didn't understand it, they couldn't be hurt by it. But I do think it's still a problem.
Yeah, they didn't understand a word of it. He looked at me. He was like, "Can I help you, sir?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my first day, man."
Wow. Well, I am sorry to hear that you're no longer working at the zoo, but I think that was probably a long time ago anyway, because last time you weren't supposed to be there. But what have you been doing since? Have you found any new employment?
Yeah, man, this meat thing is really kicking off.
You're making money with it.
Oh, big time, man. You should have seen how many dollars I made in the last day.
Really? In the last day? Wow.
Yeah, man. $7 over a 24-hour period, man.
Okay, well, hey, that's a start.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete.
I was crunching the numbers earlier, man, and that comes up to like over 10 cents per hour.
Does it? What?
Yeah, man. Double 10 cents per hour, man.
Okay, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. No, my math skills are good. That for sure does. But it's still. Well, so how did you make that money? Did you sell a piece of brisket to a customer?
Oh, big time, man. Yeah. So my neighbor leaves his house unlocked. And so when I want to get rid of a big load of meat, I'll go over to his home. I'll
Oh
open
no.
it up and I'll say, I just want to use some offensive shit's about to happen here because I do offensive stuff. And then they don't answer because they're not home. I
Yeah.
crawl into the man's bedroom. His name's Pete as well.
Oh no.
And
You
I
have two Pete's in the same
steal.
neighborhood.
I know, man. His house looks exactly the same as mine. He owns the same car. He has photos of me all over his wall.
Oh Pete.
His sister is my sister
Oh
somehow,
no,
and
Pete.
she's there. And I sneak in and I steal his money to make my precious smoked meats.
Pete. Pete, has anyone ever been home at that house?
What do
you
you
break
mean? No, dude. Every time I show up, there's nobody there, dude.
Yeah. Pete. Hey, listen, I don't mean to question you, like your connection to reality directly, but like, that's your own home.
What?
Well, just because, like, like you say, he looks like you, he talks like you, he has the same stuff as you, he has the same sister as you. It just makes me think, like, hey, maybe you broke into your own home and took your own money and put your own meat in your own house. Does your house smell like rotten meat?
Yeah, but it did before I started smoking the meats.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess if it hasn't gotten worse, it's hard to know.
Dude, if that guy whose house I'm broken into is me, then who am I, though? So you see what I'm saying? It doesn't add up.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, that's a conundrum we can never solve.
Yeah, man. Because if that was true, then that would mean that I'm a dentist.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so the house you broke into is the house of a dentist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think there are no loose threads as of now, right?
No loose threads? What do you mean? I mean, well, what I've heard so far is that you broke into your neighbor's house when they weren't home. You announced, hey, some offensive stuff's about to go down. Watch out, or whatever, however it is that you phrase it, right? And then you went in and you're like, oh, that's a picture of me and my family. That's a picture of my sister. That is my sister. We have the same sister. Interesting. And then you took your own money and left your own meats in your house. I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I do have to correct you on one thing, because when I was done doing all of that, I jacked off.
Oh, Pete!
I told you, man.
You did. You warned me. You warned me for sure.
I warned you. You were sitting over there like, my favorite movie is Fox and the Hound, and then I'm busting here saying Neo from the Matrix.
It would be interesting to see Neo from the Matrix bust into the movie Fox and the Hound, though.
Yeah, man. You go in there and he starts eating all the dog food. Where's the pills? Where's the pills?
That's an underreported part of the Matrix story is that Neo from the Matrix was always looking for pills.
Oh man, he has a red pill problem.
Mm-hmm. He can't stop taking the red pill.
No, eventually in the Matrix 4, in the Matrix 420, I heard he starts snorting and smoking the red pills.
Yeah,
that's offensive.
That's what I call a good joke, where it's like you're not necessarily offensive, but it is like on a line where you're like touching on offensive subjects.
Yeah, man. Sort of like here's one that's on the line, but still not. You remember the Edinburgh disaster?
No.
What's the name of the blimp? The Edinburgh disaster.
Oh, the Hindenburg.
That was hilarious.
See, that's
offensive too.
You're not making fun of it. You're just saying it's funny that all those people died.
No, well, it's offensive, and I like offensive stuff, man. If Joe Rogan was up there, I would have been like, "No, man, don't do it, man." I enjoy Joe Rogan.
I get it. I was speechless from learning that fact about you, but that's okay. Now, I'm curious. Back to the meats real quick. You said you made $7 in the last 24 hours, but you also said that you've been doing it for a while and it's like been your business since we last talked. And I'm just curious, like, if you're not you know, if you're not just breaking into your own home, dumping your supply in there and taking your own money and then replenishing your own money, where else? Where have you been? Have you been having any interactions with other customers other than your neighbor who's not home?
Yeah, I have a couple interactions with some customers who never pay me, man. Every
Oh
single
no.
time. Yeah, man. When I'm making my rounds, going around my town, saying offensive shit to people, punching guys in the nuts, trying to sell them some old meats, and there's because that's what guys do, man. We're offensive, man. We fucking
I guess
attack
so.
guys.
I guess it's kind of what
Yeah,
guys do. It's
there's
not
a
usually
guy.
what guys in sales do, but yeah, okay.
Well, it's a guy thing in sales too.
Sure,
Believe
sure.
me, man, I'm a salesman and I punch so many nuts. But there's these two guys who are constantly stealing my meats. They don't pay a cent for it. They
Oh,
just. At one time, I followed these two guys, and they crawled into underneath a fence down by the electric company. There's this little fence with a burrow with a litter of puppies,
oh
and the
my
two guys. One of the guys was breastfeeding the puppies, and I was like, "What the fuck you doing here, man?" And he was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Shit, man, this guy's gonna bite me, man."
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
offensive.
well, yeah, I guess that would be offensive. I'm curious though. Were these people, were they like gray and with like black and white stripes and really like eyes? You know what I mean? And like long bushy tails.
They did have a similar appearance as that,
Uh,
and at first I thought they were Rottweilers, but then everybody kept telling me, "No, man, those aren't Rottweilers."
what is a Rockweiler?
A Rottweiler, man, you ain't ever seen a Rottweiler?
No, I don't know what Rockweiler is.
It's a type of dog.
Oh, Rottweiler.
Yeah, man. You
Oh,
better
okay.
clean it. You
I
better
thought
clean out
Rottweiler was like a new thing I didn't know about. Like, I thought because you were describing them as people, so I thought like, oh, maybe Rottweilers are like people who do robberies of rocks. I don't know, but no, I think they was
Nah, man.
raccoons, Pete. I think you followed some raccoons into their home.
There's a good chance they were raccoons, man. Because one time I had sex with one of them, and
Oh no,
I had to get a rabies shot when I was done.
I bet you did. Yeah, Pete.
That's offensive.
Yeah, I hope you're okay, man.
No, man, the needle was long. The phobia.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Man,
Wow. Well, I mean, speaking of needles, you know, I know you're out there you're out there trying to sell these meats. So I imagine you're interacting with a lot of folks. Are you considering trying to get the COVID vaccine?
yeah, man. I've been thinking about it. At this point I've only got like 9 or 10 of them,
What?
but
You
yeah,
bought 9 or 10 vaccines?
yeah, man. I'm a collector. I didn't tell you that.
You told me you were a collector, but usually it's animals that you think are people. I didn't know that you've been collecting COVID vaccines as well.
I've been collecting them and injecting them into my meats so that when I go around selling them, I can be like, if you eat this filet mignon, you become immune to life or whatever the fuck the needle's supposed to do.
It's not becoming immune to life. I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, scientifically, in layman's terms.
Sure, but I mean that's kind of genius in a way. Like I don't know if it works, you know, medically, if like the vaccine works when it's been injected into a meat and eaten, but like,
That's true.
you could probably get everyone vaccinated if you just put vaccines in their meat.
At least a small family of raccoons, at the very least.
That's for sure. Yeah, those raccoons are probably very COVID resistant.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, those things can't get sick either. No matter how much rotten meat they eat, they're never gonna get sick. Never gonna get sick.
Man, now I see why you were able to be a music teacher, Pete.
Yeah, man. But like, you know what? I just made the connection right now about that guys thing. They happen to end up being raccoons as well. Do I have a thing where humans always wind up being animals?
Yeah, man. So far, every time you've come on the show, you've described a bunch of humans that you've been interacting with, and then it turns out that they are animals.
Shit, I wonder what that says about me. Perhaps it's that my ideas of humanity touching cultural ornaments, but on the primitive nature of the spirit. That is to say that the psyche is made up of relying on instinct more so than, I don't know, learned behavior.
Wow. Pete,
Well,
I
maybe
got
it's just because I like putting animal penises into my mouth. I told you it could be
There he is. That's the Pete we know and love. There we are. There we are. We're back to Pete being the offensive guy. I mean, for a second there, you got philosophical in a way I never knew what to do with. But wow,
Yeah, man, I'm blacked out. I'm blacked out, man.
that was incredible. That was incredible. Well, Pete, I mean, we got some more guests on the show. I'm very excited to get to. I hope you want to stick around and ask them any questions you have in the future.
Yeah, I'll try to let me calm down a little bit, but I'll yeah. I gotta bring it down like 2 notches before I can interact with another human. Or
Yeah, you got. Yeah. Oh my God! Excuse me.
I'll drink some water.
Wow. Yeah, water's a good thing. I mean, you have to bring it down to like host energy instead of.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, I mean, I do have a question coming to me from through my publicist at Ezra Partier on Instagram. And this question comes to me from at Andres Parada Comedy, who, yeah, looking at his picture, he kind of looks like if instead of that hat, you was wearing like any wig.
Yeah, that's true. He likes wigs. It's easier.
I like you is my point, but he wants to know, what is your deepest love? Ooh, I'll take that first, but I'm gonna ask you that as well. For me, my deepest love, and thank you for asking me that, Andres Parada Comedy. My deepest love is making sure that this human race survives any kind of a potential apocalypse and has the necessary ingredients for Popeye's Louisiana chicken strips. Because if they can't make Popeye's Louisiana spicy chicken strips in the future, then I don't understand what the point of keeping this human race alive is. We gotta have that Louisiana culture in the future. That's my biggest love. What about you? I mean, Pete.
I'll probably say, what'd you call me?
I called you Andres Parada Comedy. I just read the handle on the screen.
Yeah, it's understandably confusing. I'll probably say my kids, my wife, of course.
What?
And my wiener.
There he is. Yeah. I thought it was going to be another sincere moment for a second, but I should have known better. I've never heard you talk about a wife or kids before. I don't think you have.
Yeah, I love them.
Well, that's great. Now, we do have another guest coming to the show. I'm so excited to talk to her. Her name is Britneigh. She is TV's favorite clairvoyant ghost hunter. And, well, here she is. Britneigh, welcome to the show.
Hey, Lester. Hey, Pete. Hey, Offensive Pete.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the show, Britneigh. I'm so excited to have you on. I haven't had a TV star on the show in quite a while.
Well, thank you. It is just such an honor to be here, Lester. You are a star in the supernatural celebrity community. You've got to know. Like, you are like you are like Apocalypse Daddy. Like,
oh wow.
Up hashtag Daddy. It's Lester Pip.
Wow, that's fantastic. I got to get my publicist in on that hashtag. That's genius.
Really?
I only ever hear that from one of my beautiful wives. I haven't heard that from the public before. That's so exciting.
We just love you. We love you. We love you so much, Apocalypse Daddy.
Wow. Well, that's a pleasure to hear. Thank you so much. Now you, of course, you had a TV show where you was a ghost hunter, but then you got kicked off because people thought that you were bringing the ghosts to the show.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I told you not to bring this up because it's still pretty raw emotionally for me.
Oh, wow. I misread that email. I thought you said specifically to bring that up.
It's okay. You can do no wrong, Lester Pipps. You can do no wrong. No, it's like, okay, like really the breakup was mutual. So I've been on Ghost Hunters for 8 years. I am just so honored and so grateful for all the lessons that I've learned. The ghosts don't like me very much. So they're really attracted to me and my, personality. I'm a Libra, so I understand. So I'm constantly haunted by them, which is good because that means I'm never alone. But because of that, I have been bringing ghosts into houses that we've been trying to eradicate of ghosts. So I have been to the. I'm sorry. Can you not laugh at my pain? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Listen. We all deal with pain in different ways. You know, we hear somebody else is having pain, and sometimes our first reaction is to cry, and sometimes our first reaction is to laugh. You know.
Well, interesting. You're bringing more ghosts into the homes. People are paying you money, and by the time you're done, there are more ghosts than when you started.
Well, just whenever I'm in there, because they're attached to me. Because I keep I'm a clairvoyant, so I know all their shit, and I'm like a gossip. Hard to keep my mouth shut, So I just gotta tell people, oh yeah, they definitely died by murder suicide.
Oh my god! So wait, so do you have ghosts that are your ghosts that are always with you?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Who are they?
Well, I'm married to a 16th century wiki. Wiki is the title of the people who, the sailors who weren't good at being sailors, so they were stranded on the lighthouse.
Wow.
Yeah. So they would be the wick. So I'm married to ghost married.
Wow. Wow, I never heard of. Listen, I know all about getting Australian weddings, but I don't know anything about getting ghost married.
It's super low commitment. You've always got to be aware of your surroundings. He does get very jealous. I can't go to I can't go to a nail salon where there are other men because number one, he doesn't know the equipment, so he's very spooked.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, a nail salon would be terrifying to somebody from the 16th century. What do you do? You're gonna rip my nails out? No, we're just gonna put some stuff on them.
Come on, Ernesto. But also, if he sees me talking to a good looking grocery clerk or whatever, packing up, he'll definitely give him a heart attack and he'll die on the spot. It's really annoying.
Oh my god! Wait, he's a murder ghost?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just assumed that all the ghosts that were attached to you were Casper the Friendly kind of ghosts.
No, they like murder. Why do you think I go into murder houses for my former job? I only go into murder houses. Lester.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, that's incredible. What is your husband's name and how did you meet?
This is Ernesto. I met him on season 3, episode 24 of Ghost Hunters. It was a Halloween special. We went to this little coast off of the English Isle, and there was a brutal murder suicide at a lighthouse, and they needed me to come interpret the feelings and talk to them and ask what do you need to move on, all that fun stuff. And Ernesto just was such a gentleman.
Wow. He swept you off your feet with his ghost moves?
I literally levitated. That was the first time any ghost has ever picked me up.
Wow. That's a powerful ghost.
Yeah.
Because as I understand it, according to ghost rules, only some ghosts is able to pick stuff up, and that's only the powerful ones.
Well, love is a powerful thing, Lester. And he's full of it that way. Also, he hasn't seen a woman since, a literal couple thousands of years. So he was pretty excited.
Oh,
Can you guys touch?
Oh, he touches me all the time.
Wow. How similar is it to the scene in Scary Movie, I think 2, which obviously I haven't seen, but because that's the rules of the show, but I know about. How does it compare to that scene? Do you know what I'm talking about? I
don't, but
okay. Okay. So in that scene, and again, I haven't seen it.
Explain
it. So in that scene, right? I think it's what's her name? Anna Faris, right? So she's ghost, and the ghost can throw her around the room kind of in a weird way because he's got ghost powers, and every time she gets thrown around, she's more into it.
That sounds great for her. No, he's pretty reserved because again, he's from the 16th century, so he hadn't done it before we got married. He's old. He's old.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's ghost missionary. if that's what you're asking.
How's that
That is
different
what I'm
from
asking,
normal missionary?
Well, I mean, it's more boring if you can believe it. Like, I just, but like,
I'm so
there's
sorry.
nothing to clean up. So, can we move on to your question? I'm embarrassed now.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. No, of course. Yeah, no. Thank you for being comfortable enough with us to. Oh, what happened?
He did my hair. He doesn't like it when I talk about our sex life. So.
Hey, Ernesto, I'm so sorry for asking that. Please don't stop my heart.
I'll talk him down. He'll be fine.
Thank you. Whisper Live in the chat says everyone doesn't have Scary Movie 2 memorized, ? Which is, I mean, I've never seen it, and even I do. It's okay, no hard feelings. Now, for any viewers who don't know, Lester really undersold that scene. It's incredibly filthy. It is. But you know what? Look, we're not here to talk to Whisper Live.
Well, I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm watching that scene and making Ernesto take ghost notes.
You're watching what?
It could be educational. Now, are ghost notes different than regular notes?
Well, yeah. The notepad had to die. Like everything. If you want to become a ghost, you have to die. You can't. Wow. You have to die. Like everything. Like when like you use a journal and you use all of the pages and then you throw it out. That's how that. So like it's dead. So then it's a ghost now. So he just it sucks because they don't get their pages back in the ghost life. So he just like writes it like on the cardboard on the back. Everything dies. Did you guys know that?
I thought it was only living things that died.
No! Oh my God! You're so naive. Everything dies, Lester Pipps. God.
Wow. So like, do you have ghosts of inanimate objects that cling to you as well?
Yeah. There's like a stapler that like I stole from my sister's desk when we were kids, and that's been pretty attached to me. So yeah, after all the staples ran out and it died, it's just been, it's like kind of, I have like a ghost stapler right here, like where a pirate would have like a parrot.
Wow. Does it talk to you too like a parrot would? Does it talk to you like a ghost parrot?
Whenever I say something really embarrassing, it clips me in the ear.
Oh no. These ghosts are really physically harmful to you.
Yeah, you got a crew of ghosts slapping you around.
I know.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, what do you have like a desire to be free of these ghost companions, or do you love it?
I mean, humans don't really like me that much. I will be real. I mean, so I'm a Libra, but I have a Mercury in Gemini, so a lot of humans think that I'm a lot. But these ghosts, like, they're loyal. Like, they'll never leave me. They'll never leave me. Like, I can't do any more, like, just out of like spite, out of revenge, they stick around. And that's a pretty strong opinion. So I'm just like, you know what? If I can, if I have companions around me and the worst I have to put up with is physical pain, that's okay with me.
I guess so. Yeah. Hey, it's each their own. I totally understand that. I mean, you got to find your own limits, I suppose. Now, I am curious. Like, as I understand ghost rules, like ghosts will get to move on. Yeah, ghost rules.
Where are these written?
They're in culture. I haven't read the Necronomicon, but I imagine that they're in there.
It's so boring.
You've read it? It's too boring.
It's too boring.
Okay, well, I won't read it.
Boring. It's so long. Some of it has Latin, so I have to look that up on Google. It's boring.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds boring.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so glad we talked about it. It sounds so boring. No, as far as I understand, ghost rules like ghosts have to complete their like something that unfinished in order to move on. Did the stapler have to finish a binder clip or something?
Yeah, it was like like the last stapler that left it was like the final stapler on my sister's like senior project, and because she couldn't get that and I like used it like out of spite in front of her, like I clipped it and it fell out and I was like haha, so then it died and then it was mad at me, and so like that's why it haunts me, is because I literally like life's purpose, and it'll never get that back, so it's my friend forever. Like, Some people might call that selfish and rude and, like sociopathic, but like, whatever, I'm famous, I don't.
Yeah, you do you. Now, speaking of your fame, I mean, I imagine, are you trying to get back into Ghost TV?
I am. Okay, so I'm going to give you an inside look that I just signed an NDA, so this isn't going anywhere, right? Like, people don't actually watch the show, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, Wizworld Live's in the chat, and Private Street Comedy's in the chat, and
okay, so like nobody watches the show.
Mario's in the chat. Some of the Rachel's in the chat, but yeah, and then whoever watches it later.
Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say that this is like a closed thing that I could tell you. So I have been picked up by Bravo TV to star on my own ghost love reality show. Where's Our Boo?
Whoa. That's a cool name because Boo is the famous ghost from the Mario series.
Also, what they say to humans, how they.
Right, yeah.
So, Are you pairing up ghosts with each other, or a human with a ghost, or is it about you and your love with ghosts?
It's for me. It's like like The Rock. What is it, Kid Rock? What was that? What was it? The one with The Rock.
Kid Rock, Ba with the Ba.
Bada bang bang diggy diggy.
No, what was it? It was Rock of Love.
Oh, Rock of Love. Sure.
Yeah. Where
was that Kid Rock? I don't think that was Kid Rock.
Or who was it? Or I don't know. He did one good song. And then so it's one celebrity and they're not going to stay with the person and they're just going to keep making seasons. And it's like 13 people have to live in the same house and fight for my love at the end of it. Yeah. So like that. Because I can't actually choose a ghost at the end. They're all ghosts. So all these ghosts are fighting for my love.
So the people at home are just going to be watching you and we can't see ghosts. So it's just you talking to nobody for an hour every week. That sounds really good.
Thanks, Offensive Pete.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to see how that turns out. I think it'll be very interesting. Are they gonna do like subtitles for what the ghosts say?
No.
Please say no.
That wouldn't be fun, you guys.
Right? Because so
It's gonna be like
let's set conversations between you and all these ghosts. That sounds. I mean, hey, I think we'll get a real look into your psyche, which is what people really want.
Well, because like the paranormal series, like everyone loved that, and that was just all like an empty house. So we're going for that, and then just me talking to the empty house.
Wow, that sounds.
You saw the empty house part. You were like, I like that part of the show. The part where you have friends and there's a camera guy and you all gonna talk to each other. Let's get rid of that, but keep the empty part.
Pete, I love you. You're such a fun dead guy. I literally can't wait for you to die and haunt me, Pete. I literally can't. We're gonna be best together.
Any day now, probably.
Yeah, if you keep eating the meats that you leave in your own home, Pete, I think you might be in trouble. But I hope you don't die anytime soon. I hope nobody dies ever again, except for the people who deserve it, which are not my friends. Now, I do have another guest that we have to get to very soon here, Britneigh. I hope you'll stick around and ask them any questions that you might have.
I will.
Okay, great. Well, before we do that, though, I do have a question coming to me through my publicist at Ezra Party on Instagram, from at sarageigster on Instagram, who, looking at her profile, yeah, she looks kind of like if instead of a background in a scarf, you didn't have a background in a scarf.
Ooh, weird, kind of hot. I'd fuck her. Nope. All right, let's go.
Hey, you said it.
Coming on strong to a stranger.
Really into this girl who looks like you, huh?
Guys, I'm getting ready for my love show. All right, what's the question?
The question is, if an alien offered you a 1-week trip across the galaxy and back, with the catch being 15 years passes on the Earth, would you accept or reject the offer, and why?
Accept.
Oh, wow. You're ready. Accept it in a second. Wow.
Except I have not hung out with aliens yet. and they are wild. Aliens are wild. Oh my God. You think foodies are fun when they turn like a pumpkin pie into like a clear cube? Aliens have been doing that shit since like 500 BC. Like yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Aliens were into cube foods before we were?
100%.
Dang, mind blown for sure. Wow. Oh, well, thank you for telling us that. That's so great, Britneigh. Now, Pete, same question for you. I'm curious if you were invited to a 1 week trip across the galaxy and back, with the catch being 15 years passes on Earth, would you reject the offer or accept it?
15-year passes on Earth?
Yeah, you're gone for a week, but 15 years passes. But you get to go to the end of the galaxy and back.
Oh, yeah, man, I'd do it. Those guys probably love meats, man. They're going to hook me up with some Skrillex.
Yeah, they'll hook you up with some Skrillex, dude. I hope they do. For me, I got 2 wives to juggle. I can't be gone for 15 years. I'd have to say no, just out of responsibility. But man, would I be missing out on an opportunity. Now, we do have another guest to get to. And hey, if you're in the chat and you're thinking to yourself, I wanted to answer that question, why didn't you ask me? Sorry I didn't ask, but now I'm asking. Feel free to answer any questions of your own in the chat. But we do have another guest to get to. Very excited about that. My next guest is somebody's uncle. I don't know whose uncle. And frankly, I don't know him. His handle on the forums is somebody's uncle. And here he is. Somebody's uncle. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Now, do you want to just be referred to as somebody's uncle, or do you have a name you like? For
the innocent, let's just keep it as somebody's uncle, because I can be anybody's uncle at any time. Just depends on the situation.
Oh, that's smart. So, are you like the kind of uncle who likes to give advice?
I'm the kind of uncle that's gonna tell you what it is. That's the kind of uncle.
Oh wow. Have you had to tell it like it is to anybody of note recently?
Here's the thing. All right. I was reading to my niece. Some fairy tales. And we came across the one, what is that? The Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Oh, sure, yeah. The one where the blonde girl goes into a house that she shouldn't be in, and then she
eating up all the food. Eating up all the food.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like it is. I told her like it is. Anybody breaking your house, you put 2 in them. Okay.
Oh God.
2 in them.
2 what? Like 2 meals?
Two of them.
Like bullets?
Bullets?
Bullets, pellets.
2 of just whatever you got.
2 whatever you got. 2 swings.
That was the moral?
Whatever.
So if somebody breaks into your house, you got to defend your home. I think that's reasonable. I am curious though, like, is it just like if they're like, hey, I've got one chopstick left over, the other one broke, I threw it away, but I don't have a second chopstick. Can I still like fight them off with a chopstick?
Well, what are you talking about here? All right. What are you talking about? Chopstick. Who was fighting?
Like, okay, the only weapon in my house is a chopstick, right? Because I used to have 2 chopsticks, but now I only have 1 because 1 broke. I had to throw it away. Okay, so somebody breaks into my house. The only weapon I have is 1 chopstick. You're saying I got to put 2 in them. Can I fight them off with the chopstick?
Listen, Lester. You only got a chopstick to defend your house. You lost already. That's how it's gonna go down. You lost. Chopstick ain't doing nothing but chopping.
Now, and that's a fantastic point. And actually, that brings me to my next apocalypse tip. And obviously, we've covered so many specific apocalypse tips so far in this episode. But my next one is you probably do want to have a better weapon than 1 chopstick. And I, of course, do. That was a trick. I was playing a trick.
At least
but anyway, somebody's uncle. I mean, how often do you think that advice has been taken by folks in your life?
Well, you know what? They don't take the advice, and that's the problem. Okay, they don't take it. Everybody's out here living their lives all willy-nilly. If they would listen to me, they'd be a lot better.
They'd be killing bears.
What?
That's the raccoon man. The raccoon man is talking now. Now you're talking about bears. You're talking about raccoons, wild, now you're talking about bears, boy. You need some friends. Okay.
Get haunted,
Wow.
offended Pete. Get haunted. You'll never be lack of friends. Just get haunted.
That's good advice too. I guess if you could get hunted. Now I'm curious. I mean, somebody's uncle. You probably you
can just call me Unc.
Okay. All right, sure, Uncle. Well, Uncle. You wrote to me and said that you're a big fan of the show, and that's why you wanted to be on Unc. Just Unc.
Unc. Just Unc.
Okay. Unc. I mean, you wrote to me and you said that you wanted to be on the show because you've been watching and you had some advice from me.
Yeah. You're doing it all wrong. I mean, I'm already looking at, look at your location. Your location don't look like it's set up for an apocalypse.
Sure. Yeah, well, I should tell you, of course, this is not my real bunker. This is a fake bunker that I put up so that nobody gets jealous of my real one because it's so good.
See, you know what your problem is? Your problem is the self-consciousness. That's your problem. Why are you worried about what everybody else thinks? It's a survival, all right, son? It's survival.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You're absolutely right.
As a matter of fact, this show been on for about an hour or so, and I ain't heard an apocalypse tip. Okay.
Are we really encouraging survival here? Is that really what we're doing on the show right now? Survival.
I mean, I think well, everybody's trying to survive. That's what the show's about. But I mean, Unc, you're absolutely right. I have drifted away from the actual apocalypse tips during the show for quite a few episodes now.
That damn social media.
Excuse me?
The damn social media.
Oh, do you have advice on my social media?
Stop using it. That's what you need to stop doing.
Wow,
the only reason I know about this show is because I follow you on social media. So, it's going to be a real interesting thing if you stop using it.
That's true. See, these are contradicting ideas because you said I have to stop using it, but also you said that the only reason you knew about the show was because of social media, which is like why I use it.
Stop trying to put logic into everything, all right? Okay? That is your problem right here, son.
Oh, wow. Boy, you make a good point. Now, another good point comes from LagnoFX in the chat who says, we are all doomed. Do you have any advice for LagnoFX1?
Kill yourself. Just kill it. Just stop right now. Kill yourself. Okay? You're wishing that on everybody else. Just wish it on yourself, son.
I love you.
I just want to say this show absolutely does not want you to do that.
No, not this show. Somebody's uncle do though.
So, Unc, the views expressed by Unc on this show do not reflect the values of. But I'm so glad you expressed them at the same time, Unc. Now, Unc, I mean, I imagine like a lot of folks who get into like giving advice to their friends and their family are people who think of themselves as like worldly and lived. What has your life been like? What did you do for a living before you became an Unc?
You know what I did? I used to peel potatoes by the docks.
Okay. Was that like, did somebody pay you to do that, or is that just your favorite place to do it?
Oh no, they paid me. I used to peel potatoes by the docks, and what we really were doing was, the potatoes acted as silencers for guns, and we would put the peel potato on guns, and it's a nice silencer.
Wow. And okay, so I imagine since you're using a potato instead of a silencer, you probably don't work for like the government, because my first thought was, peeling potatoes by the docks, that's a Navy job. But no, it sounds like you're working for like a mafia.
Yeah, all of his advice is death related.
It sure is. It seems like you might be a mafia.
Hey, listen, I told you about my occupation. I can't tell you about my employers. That would just be unsanitary.
You're right. That would be unclean. Because if I hear anything about the mafia, I always make a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, you can't assume. What they say? You make an ass out of you and
I think that's how it goes. Wow. Okay. Well, how did you fall into this potato peeling silencer life?
What you mean? I just went down to the docks and asked for a job, and that's what they gave me.
Okay, well, that's what I meant.
It's not that hard, son. You get a job, you get it.
There's a lot of folks have a hard time finding jobs these days. You know.
You know why? Because they're lazy. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Walk to every place that has a person and ask for a job. You get one eventually.
It doesn't even have to be a workplace, just a place.
No, just a place. You know how many times I went to a post office and yelled, "I need a job"?
No, I don't know. How many times?
17 times.
Wow.
Okay.
And how many times did you get a job at the
You know how
post
many
office?
jobs I've got from that?
How many?
0.
So then now you tried, right? But then, of course, so you went from the post office to the docks, and at the docks, they were like, "Sure, you can make silencers out of potatoes for the mafia."
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's pretty much how it went.
Thank you for that.
You know, it wasn't even a negotiation. It was like $7.50 an hour. Back in my day, that was great.
Oh yeah, and how old of a gentleman are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'm only 34.
Wow, so back in your day, $7.50. All right, sure. I mean, that's like less than minimum wage, but not everywhere.
Aw.
I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I grew up in Illinois. You know, $7.50 was big money back then.
Oh, sure. Well, then in that case, that's great. I was in Louisiana, where the minimum wage was, of course, not getting kicked out of your parents' house. I worked for my dad for a long time, is what I'm trying to say. We don't really talk about my dad on this show.
I knew a nice knife sharpening ring in Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A knife sharpening ring?
Yeah.
So like a bunch of people who work together to sharpen knives?
Yeah, they just sharpen knives all day.
Huh.
Do they use them?
No, they sharpen them for other people.
Okay, there are a couple of people who work.
To use on humans?
Come on.
Or
Say
like,
that again, okay?
to use on humans?
I don't know what they was using at all. I just know they sharpened them and it was out, you know, metal, wooden crates. That's all I know. It was putting wooden crates.
Wow. So they sharpen up these knives, put them in little wooden crates, send them off to probably like members of the mafia.
Assuming again, asking whom? Just you.
You're right. You're right. I am making wild assumptions, but you know, only because you're leaving the details unconfirmed. Now, I am curious. We're coming up on the end of the show here, so I wonder, like, if you could give like one piece of advice to all the viewers at home who, you know, we got WizWorld Live in the chat, we got Andy Parade 1 in the chat, we got Lag No Effects 1, who we've already given advice to, you know. If you could just give one piece of advice to sum up what you believe about how folks come through when there's trouble in times in the world, like an apocalypse, what would that be?
Listen, I would give here's my first advice right here. All right. Now, Britneigh, stop messing with the 16th century ghost, okay?
Oh,
That for everybody, okay? I've been watching a lot of colonial shit lately, and basically, I just feel like a lot of those men are just, you know, those men are early gays. They didn't know they were gay until, you know, it was acceptable. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think I do, but I'm not sure I want to explore it.
We'll explore it later in a different video.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what that meant, but that's okay. Any advice for the folks at home, not just Britneigh?
It meant to say that the gays is not a new thing, okay? It's
okay.
been there. Yeah, that's what that meant.
You're saying that the gay people existed, and you should like take note that maybe they were closeted because at the time it wasn't okay to be open.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That is good advice. Yeah, you just if you're dating a 16th century man, you can say, "Hey, listen, it's the 21st century now. If you're gay, it's okay. Nobody's going to judge you." And then you let them decide, like, if they want to come out or if they want to stay.
Just don't assume, because your boy Lester been assuming a lot lately, and it's just going all wrong for him.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, Unc, thank you so much for that advice. That is good advice. I hope everyone at home takes that. And Britneigh, same question to you. Any last bit of advice you want to give folks at home?
Don't be scared to get a little spooky. Don't be scared to get a little ghost friend. They're more fun than you think. So
that's good advice. And Pete, to you as well. Any last bits of advice you want to give folks at home?
Buy my smoked meats, and I'm not talking about my little spicy Peter. I'm talking about actual, like, filet mignon, porterhouse. Buy it from me.
Great. Okay. And where can they find you?
You can find me by the electric plant with hanging out with a couple of my new friends. Just go to where the no grass grows, but 2 raccoons do go.
Okay. And I've never decided where you live. Now, this show is about to end. We do have no, I forgot a thing, a very important thing. A question from at Darren Davidson. And this one comes in relation to somebody's uncle. Darren Davidson, who looks like kind of like if instead of holding a cigarette / joint, I'm not sure what that is, you weren't. Interesting. Darren Davidson wants the worst song lyric of all time. Ooh, I'll take this one first, and then we'll go around the room. Everybody, your worst song lyric of all time. I think, in my opinion, the worst song lyric of all time is "Hey Jude," because it's like we don't know who Jude is yet. So start with a description, not just a hello. You know, that's my opinion.
So you would have preferred like, my best friend I've known since high school. He's about 5'2", 250. Hey Jude. You would have liked that better?
A lot, because then I would understand who Jude is and I could picture like who they're talking to. These Beatles, man, they're not very descriptive. That's my opinion. What about you, Unc? Do you have a thought? What is the worst song lyric of all time?
Worst song lyric of all time is "I miss my Uncle Charles," y'all. Okay. Mainly because it ain't talking about me. That's the only reason.
Wow, that's a great answer. Same question to you, Britneigh. Worst song lyric of all time?
Worst song lyric of all time has to be, "If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends." Why? Wouldn't there be like a love triangle if you got with your friends first? Like, I always thought,
a complicated situation. I don't understand it. I agree with you.
I don't want to poly shame. I'm not poly shaming. I'm just thinking for myself. I wouldn't want my Ernesto ghost husband to, have sex with the other ghost before he had sex with me. So.
That makes sense. Pete, we'll come to you once more. Do you have worst song lyric of all time?
Worst song lyric of all time is probably, "Hey, what are you doing inside of my house? I told you to leave. Pete, I'm going to call the cops so you can go to prison again if you keep coming in here to take my money."
Wait, somebody sang that to you?
That's a song my neighbors always sing.
There's somebody in that house, Pete? Oh my God, this whole time I thought it was your own home.
That was offensive.
I mean, it wasn't really offensive, but it sure was confusing. Oh, boy. Well, we are at the end of the show now, y'all. One more thank you to all the folks who wrote in questions today, and somehow seem to look exactly like my guests. Andre's Parada Comedy on all the things, at sarageigster on all the things, and at Darren Davidson on Instagram, and I think all the things. Thank you to them. Thank you to y'all in the chat. Thank you to the Pack Theater for continuing to have us on this channel, letting us get the word out about how to survive apocalypses. Stick around for Please Talk to Me with Ali Ramirez, the next show on the channel. And we're going to wrap up right now by just, the way we end every show is we just kind of leave the internet and it just kind of happens.
That was the show. Now we did it. You know how to survive an apocalypse. Anything should go down, you'll be okay. For that we say you're welcome. Also, we gotta say thank you to all these amazing guests. Find them on the internet, and then you'll never not know when they doing fun and stuff. And that's what the fun of the show is. Also to survive apocalypses. And hey, we hit both those nails on the head with one bird or something, I guess, like that. So anyway, I gotta say thank you to the Pack Theater.